So I'm out here trying to troubleshoot this valve that I had put on, this flow control valve that I had put on the Eastonmade 37D. For those of you that don't know or aren't familiar with what's going on, I had a valve put on to slow down the conveyor, the speed of the conveyor. So I had this put on myself, modified. A local hydraulic shop, worked on it. It seems to be leaking. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what I need to do to potentially fix it, but what I wanted to do was just run maybe 5 minutes or so, just run a few rounds through the splitter, put the cameras down there on the valve. I just want to see if there's anything that you guys might be able to see that's going on, because like I said, I'm not mechanically sound enough. I don't know enough about this stuff, and so I thought I will put this video out there to see if maybe somebody can see something or give some suggestions, or I'm not exactly sure. The other thing I wanted to do was to just put this video out to give a reminder to people that those 3 words that a lot of us aren't very comfortable saying, it's all right to say them. It is okay for you to say, I don't know, when it comes to something that you don't have experience with, or you don't have the knowledge on to troubleshoot, diagnose, fix, solve, whatever. It's an uncomfortable spot to be in, I'm sure, for many of you, but hey, when you don't know, you don't know, and there's no harm in saying and acknowledging, having the self-awareness to be able to say, I don't know. All right, so this is what I've got set up. I put duct tape on the top here to shield any debris and any chaff and slash falling down onto this. And then I put a towel underneath this valve. I'm thinking that it's leaking from the inlet side over here. I think once I turn the pressure, or once I slow the conveyor down, I think it's leaking out that end. But I've also seen fluid dripping from this end. So what I'm hoping is, I'll put the cameras down here, and I'm hoping that we can see either where this paper towel starts getting wet, or maybe even if it's dripping. I'm not exactly sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it for a little bit without the speed slowed down, and then I'll turn the valve, and then I'll keep running, and we'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to start out with this wide open with no restriction on the flow. And we'll see how that goes. And I want to run it a little bit wide open to see if it's leaking at all wide open without any restriction. And then I'll turn it down after I do one round. in. Run it right there. See what happens. All right, so did we see anything? I can see just from this paper towel, definitely looks like there's more coming out on that side, but I just don't know if it's because it's leaking here and then running down the valve and dripping off this end. The knob itself doesn't seem to have any on it. But yeah, this bottom side is definitely a little wet. So we definitely have a leak, a small leak. I think it is happening when I restrict the flow and slow down the speed of that conveyor. Maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe it's just meant to run wide open like that, and that's just the way it is. It is nicer to have it running a little slower, but maybe I don't have to slow it way down. Maybe I can just, instead of turning it in as far as I did, maybe only go halfway. I'm not sure. And the one thing I should mention is that I probably am going to be taking this back up to where I had the valve put on, just to have them look at it. I just want to know ahead of time if there's any feedback you guys can give me that I can then relay to them. And thanks in advance for any information or any feedback, suggestions, help, anything that you can send my way. I greatly appreciate it.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to